What's up, dreamers, and welcome to another episode of Helpful Dreams. I hope you guys are ready to supercharge your productivity. Today we're going to be covering the two most important tips for productivity that I learned from Jim Rohn, and we're going to roll right into it right now. The first rule that will help you annihilate procrastination is to break your larger goals into smaller steps. Whether you're attempting to write a book or paint a house or climb a mountain, remember that major accomplishments are achieved by taking smaller steps at a time to reach the bigger picture. Your focus should be on finishing what is directly in front of you and not being distracted by what's going on in the background. Think positively about the present instead of conjuring up bleak images of what could happen in the future. Think about if I were to ask you to write a 400-page novel. If you're like most people, as soon as I ask you that question, you would envision a large book resting somewhere, and it would seem that this is an impossible task to undertake with everything that you have going on in the world, and it would be hard to fit into your busy schedule. But what if I reframe this and asked you a different question? What if I asked you to write 1 page per day for an entire year? Breaking it down into the 1 page per day goal can make it seem more manageable, and you can begin to envision the steps that you could take towards completing the task. When we envision our future goals and accomplishments as a whole, they can seem overwhelming and they can seem somewhat impossible to get done at the moment. It's only when we break them down into smaller pieces that we can begin to consider the different possibilities, and we can warm ourselves up to the fact that we can actually get this done. When we block out our thoughts of the future and our preconceptions of the workload that we can take on in combination with our schedule, and we focus on just the goal of writing 1 page a day, it can seem more manageable. You could even break down this process further with this example of writing a book by saying, could you take a half hour per day to write 3 sentences? Most of the time, the cause of procrastination is not laziness or lack of motivation. It's lack of a plan, and it's lack of the ability to break down larger tasks into smaller steps. It's important that once you put this plan into action, do not look farther ahead into the future, and do not cloud your mind with negative preconceptions about what could happen in the future. Focus only on the moment and the task that is ahead of you. The other major tip that I learned from Jim Rohn is to audit the time that we spend, to keep record and reflect on how we are spending our time on a daily basis. Keeping a record of the activities that you do on a daily basis will leave you astounded at how much time that you waste on distractions and things that aren't necessarily leading you towards your desired outcomes. Keep track of the hours of each day for a week, and you'll begin to find that maybe you put 30 minutes of productivity in, but those 30 minutes were followed by 2 hours of hanging out on social media. Most people underestimate how much time that they have to be productive in a day. Even if you're able to free an hour or 2 hours up per day to start taking small steps towards completing your ambitions and goals, you'll be in a better situation than you are now. Even when starting this channel, I thought I would never be able to produce videos almost on a daily basis, but I was able to work it into my schedule of running several different businesses just by auditing my time and changing my schedule around to where I had a considerable amount of time at the beginning and end of each day to tackle this new ambition. I would like to challenge you to audit your time and then start to break your larger goals down into smaller steps. Remember, it's not a lack of motivation and you're not lazy, you just lack a plan. If you guys still want to hang out and look into some ideas on self-discipline, check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.